Um, so I'm live again. I might. I know my streams are like usually 30 minutes long, really short. I wanted to try to get this going long a little more if I can get enough people in here. I don't know if anyone's gonna be in the stream because it's still a little late for me to be streaming. It's 9:41 p.m. So generally not people. I've tried streaming at this time before. People haven't really showed up. That's mainly because my content is made during the day. But I mean, I guess it is still day. But someone joins, that'll be great. Please, people join, that'd be great. Share, would be great. So, but yeah, I decided to stream. I'm feeling myself today, so cat just came up. Hey, cat. There she is. Dude, her favorite thing is combat. She loves to fight. Ninja cat. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really have much to do on this stream. I should, I really should, as I stream, I should do something like, you know, play game or something, but which I don't. Y'all know I don't do. I just sit and talk, but I probably should do that. So there's someone you know, so there's things in it for people that aren't subscribers. So I might try to do that. If you have any suggestions, guys, of what I should do during my streams, cue them up because need some. Like I would think, comedy, something comedy that'd be the best thing to do. I feel like because pretty much everyone loves comedy. What you think is funny and stuff. Isn't my brand of humor is very different and definitely not for everyone. But have a few good laughs because I want to make my streams like kind of universal, if you know what I mean. Yeah, so it'd be great. Bye. Um, we thought I don't I don't know how many of you know what the Bacon Men is, but it's an awesome comedy group that I am totally not a part of. Just kidding. The Bacon Men is a comedy group made by me and my two brothers, uh, and we do comedy videos. We want to make it into an actual show. We want to pitch the Bacon Men as like an actual show, but for now it's just some skits, and we are trying to experiment and expand. We we're making a short film called The Sugar Crash, which I don't know how many of you know what that is. I don't think too many of you people even know what the Bacon Man is. Uh, but we do lots of comedy, and it's kind of been on hiatus for a while because we're doing a lot of stuff, quarantine and stuff. But Sugar Crash was a short Bacon Man short film we did in Vegas. Okay, and spent 6 months ago, I think is when we uh, did it. So 6 months ago, we flew to Vegas and made the Sugar Crash short film, which was a real struggle because that film, oh my gosh, it was the most pain I've had making a film. And it's nothing to do with anyone we were working with. It's just the fact that it was hot out. It was Vegas, and we only had a week. We wrote the script in like an hour, probably. Um, and we filmed. We had a week to film, and we had to reshoot a lot of stuff because we weren't too familiar with Carter pretty much had to have his hand on his face the whole time, and there are some scenes that aren't in Vegas, and we still have two. We released two trailers, and September 10th is when it was going to be released. It's past that, so it's past the uh, release date. Cat's up there. It's past the. He got scared from that. It's past the release date. Uh, we still have some scenes to film. We got 2 more scenes to film, and then it will be edited or finished editing. We have started editing it, and this cat is so freaking dumb. Cat in a box. I don't know if you can see that. Hey, cat. Kirby. Kitty. How you doing? Uh, so yeah. Okay, I guess I'm bleeding. I guess I'm freaking bleed. It's coming from here. It's acne. Acne bleeds sometimes. Well, I mean, it doesn't hurt. Um, like I was saying, yes, we're not sure when the new release date's going to be because we haven't gotten the 2 scenes done. It's been, let's see, a good 4 weeks or something, and we still have not gotten those 2 scenes filmed. We just need to get around to doing that, and we just haven't done it. So, yeah. In case you guys know, I know you guys, at least, I think you guys know me as being really crazy and weird, which, I mean, I am, but this at night is kind of how I'm normally. I make videos at night or streams at night. This is how I am most of the time. Not usually all like all over the all crazy, but right now this is like how I am in off camera, or even sometimes it is on camera if I'm just you know in a good mood. I mean, I'm in a good mood now, but like, you know what I mean. You probably don't. But point is, I'm different on screen and off screen. Yeah, it just depends on how I'm feeling. I don't know. I'm feeling very chill right now. Yeah, that's a lot of blood, actually. So yeah, I wasn't really expecting anyone to join the stream, but you know, um, hey, the cat's coming out. Hey, this cat thinks everything's alive. I swear. Hey, cat, come here. Uh, I want to start streaming on Twitch. That's the thing. I want to stream on Twitch. Uh, I just don't have an audience there. I don't have much of an audience here anyway. And those who do watch, appreciate you all. Love you all. I know I got a bunch of subscribers, but I think most of them are dead. Um, but whoever watches, period. I was about to say ever consistently watches. Whoever watches, period. I appreciate you. I want to get big one day, and I don't think that's gonna happen on the internet, but I do believe I can get big in other ways. Like I don't think I'm gonna be internet famous unless if I'm famous, you know, uh, before. Like if I'm famous and then the internet takes over. You know what I mean? I don't know. Thing is, I focus so much. The cat is like fighting with me, but it's purring. My cat freaking loves combat. Sometimes we go really rough with this stuff. Right now, it's real tame and calm. Anyway, um, creativity. I don't even know. there's nobody in here. I'm just talking, but creativity is something that actually runs in my family. Why am I freaking telling you my freaking life story? I don't know. I'll just continue because I got nothing to talk about. So, creativity runs in my family. Um, it does, or it's like in my blood. Creativity. My parents are musicians, and before that, like down the line, very artsy people. Um, Mostly music for generations of my family, including my parents. They're musicians. They're in music, and when it came to me and my brothers, we're like different. I mean, my older brother Carter. I have two brothers, Carter and Preston. Carter loves music. He makes music, and Preston loves. I'm not sure. Not sure what he loves. He's a very to himself person. Uh, but Carter's also really into filmmaking. I am sort of into filmmaking. I like filmmaking. I'm into it, but I'm more into animation and cartoons. I think I know more about filmmaking than I do making cartoons because I've spent more time making films than making cartoons, and I do a lot of comedy. Um, so really, me and my brothers are like change. We're still, pursuing entertainment and creativeness as a job. Uh, you know, both my parents got to do what they wanted for a living. From the looks of it, me and my brothers are going to be the same way. With the Bacon Men, uh, with the Bacon Men, it's me and my brothers, obviously, and we think it'd be cool if we could do that forever. But like a brother's business. But I don't think that will work out. I do, Carter and Preston, they are way more into filmmaking than I am and acting. I'm really into cartoons. I'm more into cartoons than I am filmmaking and acting, but I love comedy just as much as cartoons. So comedy and cartoons go hand in hand with me. Uh, but I full force believe, my brothers can get into filmmaking. I mean, we make films. We all make films. Uh, but it's like me and my brothers are like different in terms of what we want to pursue. And from the looks of it, Carter might want to will probably pursue filmmaking. He wants to go to New York Film Academy. Preston, again, he's very to himself, so I don't know. I mean, I know he's my brother-in-law, and I do know him better than pretty much anyone, but not exactly sure what he wants to do. I think he wants to do film. So Carter and Preston, I believe they want to do film together, and I would love to do film together with them as a career. But I like cartoons more. I know more about filmmaking, but I would like to, if I knew more about cartoons, I would totally do that. Um, and plus, I think it's easier to do a career of filmmaking if you know how to do stuff, which I do. I don't in the films I make on my channel. I don't try really. I don't really try. If you watch a film that I try 100% making, editing, it'll look really good. It'll look pretty close to professional because I use my phone most of the time, but sometimes I use cameras and it looks a lot better. So um, I guess I'm saying like I do have the potential, and I have done this before. Have made really good looking films and edited films, but I just get lazy sometimes. Actually, all the time. Very rarely do so pretty much all the films you see on this channel really are not my best work. Um, but you know, animation would be a great thing to do because I love cartoons. As far as like pretty much as far as I remember how I, you know, got a love for my cat's Asian right now, purring. When cats purr, they turn Asian. Um, remember when I got into uh, cartoons? I was around 5 years old. I was watching a Mickey Mouse cartoon in my parents' room. My mom was in there. I think Preston was in there, and I was in there. And I don't know which one it was. It was in color, but it was an old one. And I watched cartoons up to that point, but I uh, I think that's my mom. Mom, is that you?
Yeah.
Yeah, mom's walking down the steps. I
Kirby.
I was. You want to say
She's
hi?
being calm. Who is it?
It's no one. It's just a stream. Nobody's in there, but that's my mom. So I ran out of my mom's room and I watched. I saw that old Mickey Mouse cartoon. I'm like, whoa, it's looks great. Yeah, that cat. That's all it does.
It wasn't biting you just then.
Well, yeah, because I wasn't holding it, or I wasn't like my hands weren't near it. If your hands are near that cat, it's gonna do that. But yeah, I was watching. I saw there's Carter. YouTube. I saw that vintage Mickey Mouse cartoon. I'm like, holy crap! At the age of 5 years old, and I thought it was really cool. Didn't even finish the cartoon, but I just walked out, went to YouTube, just a old Mickey Mouse, and a video by WatchMojo.com came up called "The History of Mickey Mouse." It was, I think it was around 3 minutes, and that video is what gave me my appreciation for cartoons. So pretty much my whole life. I'm 16 now, and I was 5 years old when that happened. So 11 years. Um, I really loved the old stuff too. Of course, I watched cartoons before this. I watched SpongeBob and all that crap, but didn't really have an appreciation for it until I watched the old ones. And so I love old cartoons. So that's just how it goes. Um, and ever since then, around that same time, this is always something I forget to mention. Around that same time, I had a babysitter who was awesome. She was in a drawing. Of course, again, I drew before this happened, but around that time, I discovered my love for cartoons. I got into drawing from her. She taught me how to draw, and the old cartoons combined with my new drawing skill, I combined them and became this thing. And uh, um, and that's really when it started. So, and it was old Mickey Mouse, that 1920s Mickey Mouse specifically, that got me into that kind of into drawing and stuff. And when I started watching Max Fleischer cartoons years later, that's when I actually started animating. So something I've noticed, old Disney, Disney is what got me drawing, but Max Fleischer cartoons, Betty Boop, Popeye, is what got me animating. I can't, one couldn't do without the other. I have a great drawing skill, but my animation really isn't that great. I can't draw uh, as well when I'm animating as well. It's digital, which not too big of a fan of. Um, but that's why I want to bring back cell animation. I've done cell animation in the past. I've done a lot. I've done all types of animation. I've tried 3D, stop motion, cutout, uh, cell animation, just straight out paper animation, flipbook animation. I've tried all. I've tried it a lot of animation, and digital as well, hand drawn digital. But really, the animation that I enjoy the most is cell animation. It's it has the most. How do I say it? It's the one that has the most like process to it. It feels like, and it's like real. Not saying that other forms of anime not, and mainly comparing digital art or digital hand drawn animation and cell hand drawn animation. Not saying digital hand drawn animation is not real because it's real, but there's something. It's like physical media and digital media. I collect DVDs, Blu-rays, VHS because it's nice to just it feels like something. Whether you buy a film on Blu-ray, it's great. It's like, hey, I own this. I bought this. Money well freaking spent. And you get all cool artwork and sometimes inserts, episode guys, and special features are usually in there too. But if you buy a film digitally, that streaming service goes down. You're just paying access to watch it. You're not buying anything. Uh, and if that service goes down, you're screwed. And if that doesn't happen, it's just not the same. It's like, yeah, I can view, but I really didn't buy anything. I don't know, kind of weird, but that's kind of how I feel about digital, and because with traditional and digital animation, it's strange. Digital animation really, it just feels fake. I know it's not fake, and there's a lot of good things about it. There's a lot of things about digital animation. You can get it done cheaper, faster, and it can look better depending on your perception or perspective. Uh, but it's just not as fun to me. And animation really isn't that fun in general. It's the end product that really shines. But uh, that's there's a few goals or a few career paths I would like to pursue. And if anyone has watched it this far in the stream, wow, that's incredible. But there's three or four, you know, dream jobs I have. The number one being animation. You know, making cartoons. I have it. I would run an animation studio, which is my number one dream job. Have an animation studio, make cartoons. Um, this really wouldn't be as good, but having doing a network run show, uh, like having a Nickelodeon show, pitching a show to Nickelodeon or something, and they own it. That's the problem. They own it, but then again, they can market it, they can get it out there, but they own it. It's not yours. So there's goods and bads of both. Um, uh, and so that's how that is. My another one of my dream jobs is comedy. I love comedy. Um, this face is not built for it, but it's really freaking fun, and it's a great thing to do. One, it brings a smile to my face, and it also brings a smile to your guys' face, at least from what I've seen from you guys' comments on my comedies. But a lot, comedy, it is subjective, but pretty much everyone loves comedy. Um, Boo boo. So that would be another one, comedy, whether it be stand up or acting in films. And then another one would be writing. I'm a huge writer. I not really script writing, but writing short stories and things like that, like books. I've written over a dozen books, no joke. All of never they were never published, but all of those a dozen over a dozen, probably 13 or 14 books, maybe 12. I'll just say a dozen. Those a dozen books are all, I don't have them anymore. I wrote them all, and I lost the documents, and so I don't have them. And I can't even remember some of them, which is really sad because I remember really liking them. The first book I ever wrote, or maybe a short story, was the Indoor Tomato Experiment, which is a name I'm still. I think I got the Indoor Tomato Experiment. I think I got that name. I might have come up with it. I heard it. I heard something of that nature, which is how a lot of things go for me. Heard something of that nature at school in sixth grade. No, fifth grade. Fifth grade, I heard something of that name, sort of a name, and then I expanded on it and evolved into to the Indoor Tomato Experiment. My second book, I think, was the Bug Inspection or the Bug Inspector. I can't remember. It was one of those. And then I also made Zeros When Opposites Attract, which was a Coraline ripoff. Then I made a comic novel that was like 300 pages long, something like that. And it was great. Loved it. And it was very funny. And then made I think I half made a book, half wrote a book called The Store Behind the Corner or The Corner Store or something like that. And I also did let's see, the book. It's been a while since I've written a book. Most of the books I've written were in middle school, which I'm in high school right now. Let's see, what is it? 10th grade. I can't remember what was it. Sophomore. I think it's called a sophomore. I'm a sophomore in high school. But back in middle school is when a lot of my stories happened, mainly because that was when I was first becoming a teenager, and you need to escape, and you need to put a lot of your things into writing or something. For me, it was writing. It's a lot easier to make scenarios and play things out in writing than it is in film, because with film you have to actually go on a location, get some actors. With writing, it's all you can write it and it's there. So it's like, I don't know. It was cool when I was in 6th grade, 7th grade, and 8th grade. It was like I had my own little escape, and that uh, was writing, or that was one of them. It's like I had my own little universe that I could, do it. It was when I could do whatever I wanted, and it was great. And I had all the things in the world in my toolbox, um, metaphorically speaking. I put a lot of things that happened in real life in there. Uh, I did I did 4th grade twice and 7th grade twice. And no, I did not get held back, but I did get held back a year, not for being held back, but because I transferred schools. I did 2 grades twice, I think, is how it went. It's confusing. And my second year, 7th grade, there was a kid who smelled like, I think apple juice and pee kind of smells like the same thing. So there's a kid in the locker next to mine that smelled like apple juice or pee, whichever one sounds most pleasant to you. I preferred to say pee. I wasn't just going to say to the man, hey, why do you smell like pee? Or probably, why do you smell like apple juice? I don't know if it was his backpack or locker or what, but whenever I was, I only saw him at his locker, so, but yeah, it's a mystery, forever a mystery. And a lot of things I experienced back in elementary school, middle school, elementary school especially, because that was when I made my return to public schooling. Uh, I still use a lot of that material. Um, for example, there was a loud side of it. I was in this one class, a history class one year. There was a loud side and a quiet side. I was on the loud side. And I'm putting that in my newest book. I'm actually writing it now. I want to get it published because finally I can publish a freaking book. It's called Suck on a Frickin' Piece of Lettuce, Kid. That's what the book's called. And it was based off a book title in 5th grade called Suck. I think it's called Sucks Alexis or something like that. Suck Alexis or Suck Alexis, something like that. And I just thought to myself, it was a children's book. And this was a while ago, long time ago. I thought to myself, hey, sounds like suck on a frickin' piece of lettuce, kid. You know, or no, I said sounds like suck on a piece of lettuce, and then I changed it to suck on a freaking piece of lettuce, kid. That's what came. The book I'm working on right now. I put a lot of my school scenarios in there. Scenario. Put a lot of those in there. It's a pretty funny book. I don't know. I want to publish it, but I don't even know if anyone's going to want to. Honestly, it's very weird. Yeah, the target demographic are teenagers, but there's a lot of stuff in there that teenagers probably shouldn't be reading. Um, Gosh, it's not a kid's book. I Stream slow down. Huh. Uh yeah, not a lot of my stuff is for kids because not that I don't want to, I just don't know how to write for kids. Most of my comedy either comes from stupidity and fart jokes or butt jokes or something. The thing with butt and fart jokes is they're obviously little kids' sense of humor and they're in a lot of kid stuff, but you can't overdo it. If you overdo it, it's no longer a kid's program or something, and I overdo it. I had this, or make it too explicit. Like I had this because a lot of my stuff is really freaking weird too. Um, Way too weird for not healthy for kids, really. Um, Not healthy for anyone, honestly. But uh, um, a what the frick was I saying? I lost my cloud of thought. Uh, some Oh yeah, a gosh dang, freaking forgot again. I forgot. I forgot. I forgot. I'm weird. But saying I have this thing where there's this villain and he shoots guitar picks out of his butthole. He takes his butt cheeks and spreads them open, which I thought was hilarious. And a lot of my teachers loved my creative writing back then. Um, they read that and were cracking up, but they're like, "This is not school appropriate." And I'm like, "You kidding?" There's so much, there's so much stuff that is way more freaking inappropriate than that. Like what? Like freaking slavery. You teach slavery in school. But yeah, but we're talking about lists. Like I was like, whoa. Uh, but one of my stuff is kind of like that. Like I have a character named Lick. I named him Johnny Lick later on, but his original name was just Lick. Lick. Uh, so that's kind of my sense of humor. I mean, I think you guys have a pretty good sense of sense of how my humor is from my comedies, but it's really weird in writing. I I've been told this by most of my teachers. You have a very interesting style of writing. Nothing else like it, but it can't be in school. Um, it's just you got to follow the rules. My style of writing is very sarcastic, very, very. It's just not really like anything else. So I would like to publish a book and see how people like it. If they like it, hey, I'm an author. If not, good try. I published a book. Um, you can brag that I published a book. But I want to publish Stuck on a Freaking Piece of Lettuce, kid. Just that name alone. I want to just grab people's attention. Hey, what's this? Stuck on a freaking piece of lettuce, kid. That sounds very freaking interesting. Or maybe not interesting. It just sounds different. It's like, oh, it's very different. Let me turn around, see what it's about. And probably they'll buy it. But yeah, literally nobody's been on the stream. But that's okay because I'm going to end right now. So thank you all for watching. And I shouldn't. Why did I freaking? Okay, no one watched, but I was expecting that. Peace. Love y'all.